Hi guys, so we're going to tackle the final part of Celia's question, which is how best to tone the body and overall strengthen the body. I've got Socks with me here. I don't know if he's in shot, but he's decided to join me on the couch, so which is nice because he's not the most affectionate little guy. So when he is feeling affectionate, it's especially adorable. Anyway. So, how to best overall strengthen and tone the body. I'm going to talk about strengthening mainly. When it comes to strength training, the main problem with strength training in runners is that they don't do it. There's very good evidence to say that there's a very good chance it reduces injury risk, and injury risk in runners is extremely high, as we all know, because we all get injured all the time. And that it makes us a faster runner. Well, at least it definitely improves running economy. Whether or not it improves performance hasn't been proven, but economy is connected to performance. So it's reasonable to think that you might get a 5 to 8% improvement in running economy from strength training. So you should definitely add strength training in. It's as simple as that. And then the question is how to do it. So there's a guy called Dan John. Hang on, I'm going to have a drink. And he divides human movement into 5 basic movements, and I really like this way of thinking about it. So we've got squat, hinge, push, pull, and then gait. We'll call it gait. And the reason I like this is because it keeps it nice and simple. So if you want to overall strengthen the body, you want to hit those 5 movements, and you want to do it with what we call compound lifts, which is big movements, right? Like those 5 movements. So this isn't bicep curls, this isn't hamstring curls, right? This isn't sit-ups, this isn't planks, right? Those are isolated exercises for the most part. What we're talking about here is compound lifts. Compound lifts involve mostly the whole body, or at least big sections of the body, like the whole leg, the whole arm, the whole body for, let's say, the deadlift. And then you want to think about how often, right? So twice a week. Bye, Socks. He's had enough of me. It depends on the time of year. It depends if you're doing any at the minute, or like whether you want to increase or decrease. But generally speaking, I recommend 2 to 3 sessions per week off season, and 1 to 2 sessions per week in season, or as close to that as you can manage. And then you want to go heavy, right? So we do lots of running, which is very high repetition but low load. So we want to do the opposite of that to make sure we're strengthening ourselves as robust humans, which can tolerate different types of stress. So the research that shows best benefit in terms of injury prevention and such in other athletes, like soccer players and stuff, had them going very heavy. So it was sort of 3 sets of 6, 3 sets of 8, maybe 3 sets of 10, right? And that means that as heavy as you can get for those weights, for those reps. So say you're doing 3 sets of 6, it's like, well, this weight for my squat, I'm doing 6 reps and I couldn't do 10 of them. Yeah, it's too heavy. So it's a 6 rep max as a way of thinking about it. So you got your 5 movements: squat, hinge, push, pull, and gait. We'll get to gait in a second. Squat is easy, right? Everyone knows what a squat looks like. Go to the gym, get a dumbbell, get 2 dumbbells, get a kettlebell. Use the barbell if you feel up for it, and do some squats. Easy. The squat, I think of all of these exercises as having a single leg version. So the single leg version of the squat would be a lunge, a step up, or a split squat. A split squat is where you put your back foot up on something and sort of dip down. You'd also do like a single leg squat, like a pistol. Pick one of them. Do that. I've got an article that I'll link in the episode notes for this show, DIY strength training for runners, where it talks about all the different examples, and I have a little video in there of me demonstrating one example of each. So that's, okay, I've ticked my squat bucket. I'm going to do squats on Tuesdays, 3 sets of 6, and I'm going to do lunges I'm going to do just general double leg squats for my squats. Hinge is, if you're not familiar with like weight training and stuff, hinging is hinging at the hips. It's the most common example is a deadlift, also a straight leg deadlift. You could do, for a single leg version, a single leg deadlift. And hinging is just basically loading the back of the body mostly. So the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings. The hinge will strengthen that. It's basically sort of tipping over like this. And like I say in that article, I've got some videos to demo. You can just Google deadlift and see what it looks like. So the nice thing about these is that they're just typical things. So if you Google squat, deadlift, you'll get like a bazillion videos of them. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I mean, I really like Instagram. It's really fun, right? But what I see a lot on Instagram from people who teach running stuff is lots of weird exercises because they look funky. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're eye-catching. So you see people doing lots of strange things, and they're using bands, and they're sort of on their side doing a plank with a band lifting up their leg and all this sort of stuff. And I really often wonder if they're actually doing this as part of their training or if they came up with it for the video. And maybe they are. Maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt. But I think variety in training is awesome for your strength training. But that's not what I do. I squat, I hinge, I push, I pull, I do gait. I do the 5 basics. Sometimes I add some extras if I want to make it fun. And I'm definitely thinking adding those extra things is good because the body responds to variety. But I would say get the fundamentals right. Like, it's a little bit like running, right? You got to run, right? You can do all the planks in the world, but you got to run if you want to become a good runner, So I would say for the strength trainings, like, do the 5 big lifts. That's the main thing. Start there. Once you're doing that regularly, and we talked in the last episode about habits and setting up the environment to help support your habit and being motivated by, let's say, increasing performance or avoiding injury, right? Yeah, sorry, a little bit of a ramble. I go on Instagram a lot and I see these exercises, and I do wonder if people are actually doing them. The people who are actually posting the videos, or, it's a different thing every day or every few days. And it's not what I'm doing. When I go to the gym, I do these basics, right? Doesn't make for very good videos, right? Someone doing a deadlift, it's not very exciting, but that's what we should be doing first and foremost. Anyway. So on Tuesday, you're going to do your squats. On Thursday, you're going to do your deadlifts. Google deadlift to know what they look like. You can do 3 sets of 6 of each, or 3 sets of 10 if you're not comfortable going that heavy yet. Push-ups. Push-ups are a really good push, and they're very easy. We don't want to forget the upper body, right? Definitely the lower. If you're not strength training at all, and you're finding it hard to get into it, just do squats and calf raises. It's like, make it easy for yourself. But if you want a more comprehensive program, try and hit the 5 big fundamental movements, and push is one of them. So push-up is a good example. Bench press is a good example. Chest press is a good example, right? You're just pushing something. You can do single arm versions of all of those. So you can get a dumbbell, lie down on the bench and do a bench press with one arm. And I really like single arm stuff or single leg stuff because it helps recreate some of the stresses we experience with running, which is a single leg at a time activity. So, but yeah, variety is the spice of life, right? So do it sometimes with one arm, sometimes with 2 arms. Yeah, mix it up, make it fun. Pull something. Pull-ups are a great one, very hard. So a lot of people need assistance from a band or the machine at the gym that sort of lifts you up. But yeah, just pull something. You can get that rope sometimes at the gym, where you kind of pull it. That's a good one. Bent over row is the one I give most often because it's really easy. So you get 2 dumbbells, you hold them in each hand, you hinge at the hips, which means you sort of bow forwards and, as if you're going to do a deadlift, but you just stay at the bottom and then you just pull the dumbbells up towards your chest. Again, I have a video in that blog, which I'll link in the description, but that one I give all the time. And that's the most common pull that I do, that and the pull-up, because they're the easiest and most straightforward. Single arm, you know, you might need a cable machine, or you do with one arm at a time on the dumbbells. You can use a kettlebell to do pulls. Yeah, do some pulling. 3 sets of 6, 3 sets of 8, 3 6 sets of 10, right? 5 sets of 4 if you want to be creative, yeah? The main thing is just to get in the gym and do it. And I would say go to the gym, because a lot of runners try and do this stuff at home. It's not heavy enough. They don't stick to it because their environment isn't set up, their habits aren't set up, things get in the way, kids come in and ask them for stuff and it gets disrupted, yeah? Go to the gym. And people often say it's too expensive, and it's like, well, look at the other things you buy for your running, like your Garmin, right? How much did your Garmin cost? And that's not to say don't buy Garmins, because they're great. It just means your Garmin isn't going to stop you getting injured the way strength training will. It's not going to make you a faster runner necessarily. So just think about that. Try and look at some of the other things. Like a race, like sometimes we go and do a race like on the other side of the country, and it costs us a fortune, right? We have to take time off work, we have to get a hotel, we have to pay for the race, which is expensive, all the food and drink while we're there, and it's a wonderful experience. It's like a holiday, but it is expensive, right? So if you take a gym membership just at your local recreation center, I think I do at the Red Deer Rec Center last year, it was like $27 a month, and I got a pool as well, so I could do all my swimming. So yeah, I would definitely prioritize a gym membership. If you're in Red Deer, you can come to the Gary W. Harris Center where I work, which is awesome. It's not even expensive. It's really, really good. So come there if you want to. And then the last one's a bit more common. They're the big 4, right? Squat, hinge, push, pull. If you're doing those, free pass. Gait is a good one to include. It's not as important as the other 4 in my opinion. And then there's one bonus one, which I'm going to talk about, which is really important. Gait is, it's like single leg alternating activity, right? That's what gait is. And so like a lunge walk would be a good example of a gait exercise. A farmer walk is where you get 2 really heavy dumbbells, hold them in each hand down by your side, and then just walk for as long as you can hold them. That's a farmer walk. That's a good one. A waiter walk is where you put one of the dumbbells down, so you got a dumbbell only in one hand, so you're loading the body in a unilateral way, which is stressing it differently, and then you walk with that one. And then the ABCD is one I really like. So that's the one where you do high knees, heel kicks, butt kicks, sorry. Heel kicks is where you sort of kick your heel out in front, and bounding. So the ABCD drill, if you just Google ABCD, you'll see lots of videos online. They're really good, and I like to include those at the end of strength training workouts or during runs, because they help you work on your technique and your power, your plyometric strength as well. So those things will take care of your gait. Like I say, I'll link to my blog on this, because I have a video with demonstration of each of them and the different options for the things you can do. But that's what I'd suggest. Do the 5 fundamental movements, do it 2 to 3 times a week, go heavy, go to the gym, and just be confident that you're going to improve your race performance and reduce your injury risk. And I'm a huge advocate of strength training, so I will harp on about that until the cows come home. All right, that's all for today. Thanks.